When was the last time you took initiative? These guys took initiative today. Are you doing all right? It's tiring over there, isn't it? Yeah, that's the bun and thigh rocker for you. Your quads. Okay, cool. And are you doing all right still? Yeah, cool. So, I mean, what we've got going on here is some people who took initiative, but you didn't. We didn't plan that, but that was good. So, you didn't want to take that initiative. You didn't want to step out. It was something inside you says, I would rather sit here. And something right now inside you is saying, man, I'm glad I didn't, right? But we have two people on stage who are getting healthier than you. We have two people on stage who are going to leave this place with a little bit of glow on them. And you're going to be like, man, I kind of wish I had the gumption to do stuff like that. This is the line between activity and inactivity. And Paul says, I'm going to take the risk and I'm going to cross that line because God's got something for me. And if I cross the line, who knows if it's going to work? But what I do know is I don't get anywhere by staying where I am. Okay, so next. Paul gives us the next little tip here, and this is the discipline attitude, the discipline idea. He says, your path deserves your focus. I'm going to read these passages here for you. Keep going. Verse 24. Paul says, do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Therefore, I do not run like a man running aimlessly. I do not fight like a man beating the air. No, I beat my body and make it my slave, so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified for the prize. Paul says, I'm willing to beat my body so that I can be qualified to go all the way to the end of this race. This last week, I was on the treadmill. I made a commitment to myself, not to do the bun and thigh rocker, but to do the treadmill. And my commitment was, I thought it was going to be really good. I was going to go 1 minute for every day of the month of January. So that means on January 1st, I only had to run 1 minute. I thought that was a pretty good commitment right there. I haven't yet thought about what February is going to be. Am I going to start all over again, or is it going to be like 32? So anyway, last week I did 17, and then 18, and then I did it on the day I was doing 20, and this is like I'm on the treadmill for 20 minutes, but I'm also, in addition to that 20 minutes, I'm running on the treadmill for this day number. And so I'm on it for 20 minutes, and I get to the 17-minute mark, and I'm like, oh, my knees hurt. And I made it to the 18-minute mark, and I was like, oh, my knees hurt. I don't have to do this today. It's not going to change if I just quit 1 minute ahead. Tomorrow I can come back and do my 21. But guess what? I pushed the button and went back down to 3 miles an hour so I could walk the rest of my time, just because, hey, I wasn't that disciplined. And now I'm confessing to you. Please pray for my forgiveness on this issue. So because of that, I'm going to let you guys quit. I'm going to let you guys leave because I quit earlier this week. So thank you very much. Would you guys give them a hand? Thank you very much. You're sweating a little bit there. Okay, so here's the thing. It's easy for us to get distracted and lose our discipline and lose our focus. But if you want to be more like God, and if you're on that path, it's worth it to stay focused. If that's the direction God has for your life, it's worth it to stay focused on it and to not give up at the earliest sign of pain. It makes sense, it makes perfect sense to just keep going because that's how God designed you. He made you for that. He designed you to be more like Him. So when you find that place where you're beginning to get discouraged, you're reading the Bible and it's not making sense to you, you're not feeling God in your heart like you did before, or you're just having some type of dark situation in your life, just keep going. because that's the path that God has for you, and he's going to take you to his destination, okay? Let's just finish this up. We're running out of time here. So in chapter 10, then Paul says, I don't want you to be ignorant of the fact, brothers, that our forefathers were all under the cloud, and that they passed through the sea. They were all baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea. They all ate the same spiritual food and drank the same spiritual drink, for they drank from the spiritual rock that accompanied them, and that rock was Christ. Nevertheless, God was not pleased with most of them. Their bodies were scattered over the desert. I'm not going to read the rest of it, but I'll just explain to you a little bit of what's going on here. Paul says, listen, a long time ago, there were these people who left Egypt. They saw God do miracles in Egypt that brought them out of Egypt. They were with Moses in the desert. There was a pillar of cloud in front of them, leading them by day, and at night that cloud would turn into a pillar of fire. Moses provided for them water from a rock. God rained down food from heaven. Every morning they could just walk outside and pick it up. God was doing miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle for those people, and yet they disobeyed. So that means, what about for you and for me who don't get the constant reminder of God's miracles in our day? How much more effort and energy do we need to put into our discipline to make sure we stay on the path God has for us? And there's one last verse I wanted to read to you. It's back in verse 13. Paul says this, no temptation has seized you except what is common to man. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, he will also provide a way out so that you can stand up under it. God makes a promise to you. And that's a promise that God is in control of the stuff that tempts you away from him. He's in charge of it. And if it's in your life, it's because he already knows you're stronger than it. He doesn't let any temptation come into your life except what is common. You're not alone. You're not unique in the temptations you face. What's common to people, what's less than you can bear, and what's something he can provide a way out from. These are God's promises to you. Have you ever been in a place of temptation where you feel like, man, I just have to give in? That was a lie you believed. You told yourself. That was a lie I believed last week when I shut down the treadmill. I could have kept going. Here's the deal. God says, I'm making you a promise that you will never face